hello there, and we are live. See ya, ladies and gentlemen. You're welcome to episode 7, season 1 of the Dal and Claude show. See ya, guys. I know this is a late one, but see, I promise we're gonna cover lots of stuff here, and I don't want this to be a kind of victory lap kind of stuff,
We,
but
we,
man,
we won nothing
Oregon
so far.
Gunner. Oregon Gunner going
Yeah,
to Everton, picking the maximum 3 points. I know you have a lot to say of that, about that match. But first of all, welcome my partner in crime. Yeah, this guy,
thank you,
the Oregon Gunner, the infamous Dahl himself. See, no other guy, yeah, no other person than my friend and my brother, Oregon Gunner, DVS. Yeah, he comes with so many names. Yeah, DVS.
One should
Doll,
as many states.
Oregon Guna, infamous dolls. Yeah,
Yeah,
guys, give
well,
that big welcome to Oregon Guna. Oregon Guna, you're welcome
thank
to
you
the
very
show,
much,
my
Tony.
brother.
Thank you. Another great show, episode 7. Here we go.
Mm.
Man, yeah, I gotta have different aliases because I'm wanted in different states for different crimes. All the way
crimes
from
against
New York
crimes
to
against the
California.
American states.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. So, no. Thanks again for having me on, Tony. This is a great show we got going every Monday, episode 7 weeks in a row. And yeah, let's dive right into it because there is a
Let's
lot
dive
going
right
on.
into First of all, because we have quite some topics to talk about, a range of topics to talk about, we have to talk about that not London Derby coming up. We have to talk about the PSV game coming up on Wednesday. But
Mm,
see, nothing gives me more joy than going to a ground where we've not won in over 5.5 years. Let me just say 6 years, yeah? Going down to Merseyside, yeah? Going down there to Everton and beating them on that ground, something so different. Many people will understand the efficacy, the importance, yeah, the gravity, what that holds to go to Everton and win on that in that ground, in a ground that we've not found joy in about 6 seasons. Now, it's how does this sit down with you, going down to Everton and winning down there and picking maximum points from there?
it it sits all right with me just fine, Tony, because last season, the first time we came out with Everton, I think we came out with a 1-1 draw. So if you can look at that as improvement, there you go. I thought the squad overall played well, but not great, right? I know you know that too from what some comments that you've made, and many of us saw. Many of us that saw the game said, "Yeah, it was good. There was some, some good passages of play." But I thought our captain, again, Captain Fantastic, number 8, up and down like a roller coaster, man. He started off great and went through a lull. Started off the second half and then was kind of in a lull, picked it back up again. But I just want a little more consistency from Odegaard, and you know, we saw the Gabrielle gene pop up there, the Bozo gene
The
pop up.
Bozo
We
Chin.
thought we were going to get a goal there in the 85th minute. We looked at a little like squeaky bum time, but but we pulled it out. Trossard with a class goal. If that doesn't earn him a spot in the starting lineup, I don't know what else he has to do. You know,
Mm.
start shining boots or something. But this guy deserves a spot. He and again, the more I think about it, you know how you get that feeling. Let's say, for example, from Declan Rice, how he really wants to be at Arsenal. Well, I think Trossard really wants to be at Arsenal as well. He really does. I mean, he was available from Brighton, where he wanted to come to us. We scooped him up for a great fee, and here he is collecting moss on the bench. Right? I bet at nighttime the janitors who are cleaning up the benches and area just sweep right past his feet because he's still sitting there waiting to get on. So it's like the guy's scoring goals. He's making things happen. We see energy. We see spark. We see enthusiasm from him. He deserves a start. And again, it's sort of like the Thomas Partey injury with Martinelli. I hate to see any player injured, but it's kind of a blessing in disguise in some ways for Arteta because the decisions we hope, kind of make sense to themselves, right? Sard goes on the left. Party's out. Well, we have, Rice for that. We have Rice. We have, God forbid, El Neni. We have Jorginho, right? I mean, the forgotten man, Jorginho. I forgot he's even at the club.
I
So,
forgot he's even at the club,
maybe
and
we'll
it's
see.
not that.
You
And again, see, when you're talking about Jorginho, yeah, he came to this football club. I thought it was a shitty signing at first,
right? We all
but
did think
again, but again, he's been decent, just
that.
decent. He's
Mm-hmm.
been a decent player.
Yeah.
If you compare him to Willian, or all these demonic players that have been shipped in from Chelsea Football Club and brought down to Arsenal Football Club, yeah, and you see their performance. Willian kept getting chance after chance,
Mm-hmm.
and had no effect in that Arsenal team. But to
Right.
see Jorginho come in, and take that big part role, and
Mm-hmm.
being decent, like I wouldn't say it's a horrible signing for Arsenal, but again, we do have him. If Declan
Right.
Rice have any problems, we can call on him, call on his expertise, and call on his experience also. See,
Mm-hmm.
we'll come to the specifics of that game. Big ups to Wolfang Division, who is down here with us. He made his debut on my show just yesterday, and of course, he had a great show yesterday. Big ups to Wolfang and Simon Reiner, that's his real name. Big ups to you, and he's a Chelsea fan too. Head to there, big ups to you too. Head to there said something there. He says, "Cheers, Tony and Dow. Agreed, no victory lap. We just
Mm-hmm.
did what we were supposed to do at Goddison Park." Here today also says, cheers to Wolfang Division, and of course, the exchange greetings. See, yeah, DVS. Looking at that team sheet, at the lineup,
Mm-hmm.
what what was the first thing? Because I want to take this chronologically before we go into that game. What was the first thing that hit you when you saw that team sheet on Sunday?
Um, well, the first thing I noticed obviously was Havertz wasn't on there. Well, it was on the starting lineup, I guess I should say.
Mm.
Um, and also that and Kedia again gets another chance up front. Martinelli must just have been pulling his hair out because we know Martinelli has that vibe, obviously, with Jesus. They can make things happen. There's the synergy that we talked about last time, Tony.
Mm, mm.
It's Jesus brings out the best in Martinelli and brings out the best in Saka, right? Because
It's a
he moves him
symbiotic
around.
relationship.
It's a
Mm.
symbiotic relationship. Absolutely. I mean, the Brazilian roots run deep, don't they? So, and I just, why do we have to give Nketiah a chance? Because we know he can't cut it at Leeds. He can't do it at Arsenal. It's time to
I,
cut our ties. I just want to just ship him out in January.
This is a bigger topic because I was telling TJ yesterday in the watch along. He wasn't agreeing with me when I said I want Edin Ketia out of that game. I wanted Gebeyesus to come in. See, yeah, it's a more bigger problem because I,
Mm-hmm,
I have this feeling, yeah, because I've heard, yeah, from some friends of mine, yeah,
mm-hmm,
who actually live around the Coney area and everything. Yeah, they always go into Coney. They always tell me that Eddie Nketiah has a very rigorous and aggressive approach towards training. When he's in
mm-hmm,
training, he's a beast.
mm-hmm.
Probably, maybe I'm having this feeling like in training, Mikel Arteta is seeing something aggressive from this guy. Is
Right.
maybe he's probably scoring lots of goals in training, but when it comes to the big stage,
Mm-hmm,
he's not putting up with that. So
right.
I don't know because I'm hearing that he puts in lots of work in training. He scores lots of goals in training. But
Mm-hmm,
and that's why Mikel Arteta kind of chooses him. These are what my friends have told me. But again, I'm not buying it. If you're not putting in the ball at the back of the net, where that really matters, then why are you in that goddamn team in the first place?
yeah.
See, no amount of goals you score in training, no amount of
Right.
aggressive training techniques you put into the team will
Right.
help the team. What will help the team is when you come in into a competitive game and then you score goals for the team. If you're not doing it, if you're not putting up, then shut up. Yeah, stay
Yeah.
on the bench. But again, what do you think? Because I do think that pe- people have told me he has an aggressive approach towards training, and he's scoring goals in training. He's putting a hard work in training. That's why he's getting this starts
Mhm.
and this not
Right.
from Calatesa.
Right. Well, I can say that myself, I played football growing up, all through middle school, high school. I tried out for university. That I wasn't good enough. But the fact of the matter is, I was damn good at training and practice, and I wasn't as good in the games. Right? I had a mental block where I couldn't perform, and many players go through this. The Premier League is not for everyone. It's just not. There's so many leagues throughout the world. I think our man Wolfgang talked about this a little bit a week or two ago. Is that the Bundesliga is a slower league. The Italian league's more technical. Portuguese is a little bit of both, right? And the championship division in England is still a competitive league. I mean, if you're a championship player in the heart of England, you're a damn good player. I don't, just because you're not Premier League doesn't mean you're absolute trash. But Eddie Nketiah is not a Premier League player. He is a championship side player. He would probably do great in the Bundesliga, maybe Italy, I don't know. But in the Bundesliga, the championship, he needs to be there where he can actually really perform what he can do in training, apparently. But you're right, the training means nothing. Do we get a trophy for great training sessions? No.
No.
You get a handshake and a conversation with the manager about a start for the weekend, and you can see that Arteta sees something there and he values him, or he would have given him the 100 grand a week, and certainly not the 14 shirt, and certainly not the starts that he's been getting over Balogun. Essentially, now he's not even here. That is scoring 20 plus goals in the French league, and even though it's a lower league, but it's just the evidence speaks for itself. I don't care
Exactly.
that he is good in training when I can see Balogun be the top scorer in the French league for a third or almost half of the season.
Balogun
He,
just
he
scored his
maintained
first
that
goal.
until Mbappe caught up, but he had 23 goals in the French league. I mean,
Balogun just scored
numbers.
his first
Tony.
goal. Balogun just scored his first goal
Did he?
for
Okay, I'll have
Monaco
to look
this
for Monaco
weekend.
highlights. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, I
just
watched
scored
Real
his first goal.
Sociedad and Real Madrid. I was watching our boy Kieran Tierney, and I was watching,
Jared said.
another player I wanted is actually the Japanese guy Kubo. He looks class, bro.
He looks good,
But
man.
anyway, that's a whole nother transfer story. But the fact of the matter is that I don't give a flying duck fart shit what Eddie Kenya does in training, because I'm sure Zinchenko's a prime Messi in training. And who cares when you go against Newcastle, Chelsea, well, okay, Aston Villa, Man City, Liverpool, etc. Eddie Nketiah runs straight, bro. And he
Mhm.
stands there waiting for his little 6 yard box tap in. And to me, that goes against the way we play. That goes against the way
Exactly.
we play. So
We don't play that way.
I think Arteta, he's conflicted really, because here he's saying that he's investing in this youngster to give him money, give him time, and then at the same time, when those results don't come, you gotta put him on the bench. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
every game for us, we have to put out our best 11. We have to win every game. Man City's going to go win every game. I'll almost bet that they will go this season and get a gold trophy. What
Mm,
game you really see them even dropping points, Tony?
exactly.
I mean,
Exactly.
just look at the
Let,
schedule.
mm,
Maybe
mm.
Liverpool. So they get two draws. I mean, they could be an invincible team this year if they all stay healthy.
If they are still thing, but again, I don't think that's a fit that any other team can actually reprise again. It's a very difficult fit because Man City will have to go to Liverpool. You don't go to Anfield, even in a season that Man City got a three-peat. Yeah, in the season where
Mhm.
they won the Champions League, the Premier League, they didn't go to Anfield and win. You have to go to these grounds and prove yourself.
Right.
Yeah, so it's not going to be an easy task. But
No,
again, here
but it's
today said
doable.
something
Yes, it
here.
is.
Yeah, here today says here. He said, I think Odegaard suffers when we put Zichenko on the ball too much. Typically, Odegaard ghosts when Zinchenko is too
Ooh,
prominent. It's a fine line.
good
Do,
comment.
do, you, do you agree with that, Dal? I
I,
think there's some truth to that.
I think what here to there saying is that when Zinchenko goes up there with the ball, Odegaard kind of just he moves around, but that's a good observation. He kind of just
That's
stands in a circle, doesn't he? He
exactly
focuses on that right side, and is pointing at his feet to get the ball in the pass.
to get the
But by
ball.
that time, the defense is already set, right?
Mm,
Like by the time Odegaard's asking for the ball, a defender's on him, a midfielder is
true,
on him, and that's where
true.
some of the breakup play is that we're not doing things fast enough. It looks fast at times, and then it looks blah. Yesterday was half 60% of that game was crap, if not 70%. Right? It was real boring. The first half was boring,
Mm,
and and I think here to there makes a good point because you start suffering for lack of space and movement. And
mm.
when you play against good defenses, they're going to make that step up, boom,
Step
offsides,
up. Mm.
over and over and over. And
Look,
Odegaard, you don't want him to crowd the right because you don't want him to crowd Saka, and you don't want him to crowd the middle. So I think you've got a very good point there.
good point there. And talking about point here, head today is on fire. See, he even wants to test you or a Gunguna to a duel.
To a duel,
To a duel. See, yeah, head today says here, he says, totally disagree, Dal. Trossard should be playing with Martinelli. We missed Martinelli's runs behind, pace and dynamism, especially with Saka struggling to beat his man. See, here today, you open a can of worms, a huge can of worms. See, Saka's performances, yeah, Dal,
yeah,
this is
no,
two back to back games that Saka has,
no, we got an
you know,
assist today.
he got an assist, but does that paper the cracks for us? Uh,
No.
Two consecutive games, he hasn't really like had a few days. We all know Bukayo Saka. Yeah, he's a big and prominent member of this team. If he's having a good day, Arsenal is having a good day. But I'm sorry if he doesn't get in, yeah, and
Yeah,
try to kind of like get through with those incisive, penetrative movements from the right hand side. It's very difficult for Arsenal as a whole because we do need Saka to exploit those holes in the opposing defense when it's penetrated. His penetration for the past two games have been a little bit more questionable. I,
mhm,
I do really think that he's playing with an injury, to be
yep,
fair to him, but again, he's not he's not getting in on that act really. He hasn't upped the ante for Arsenal this season in it. And of course he's a quality player, but again, here today brings up this issue about Trossard. Trossard
mhm,
is scoring goals. He can play on that side for Bukayo Saka rather than pushing him straight up into injury, because the more we keep outworking and overusing Bukayo Saka, the more he's more prone to a bigger injury coming up. And it's not far from reality when we're talking about this. Look at Gabriel Martinelli. He
mhm,
just got injured. Mind you, the treatment table is piling up. Jurien Timber, injury.
mhm.
Martinelli, injured. Gabriel Jesus was just knocked back from injury. So
Thomas
it's not
Party,
far from reality. Thomas Partey,
right,
injury treatment
right,
table. El Neni, injured. Uh, See, it's piling up.
right, and I'm happy that you disagree. That's what we're all here for, is for the banter. You know, I just don't want Eddie in there. Right? I don't care if Trossard plays on the middle. I don't care if he plays on the right. If Saka needs a rest, I don't care if he plays on the left. But he needs to be in there, right? He needs to have a starting position. I can, look at last season as an example when Trossard started up front for Jesus being out. I think we won 6 games straight after the Man City loss, and then Jesus comes back, and what do? We start dropping points. I mean, the evidence spoke for itself last season. I
Mm,
just I just feel that it, it's helping Arteta. in his decision makings having now Martinelli out, because it'll actually force him, hopefully force him, to play Trossard, which we've
Trossard.
been asking for.
But
We've been
again,
asking for it
have
because
we
we've seen
found
him
out
just scoring goals.
have we found out the extent of
I
Martinelli's
heard
injury?
from Jez today it's about 3 to 4 weeks. Jez on Jez's show they said it's 3 to 4 weeks.
On yeah,
Yeah.
I was hearing from a friend of mine about 5 weeks. That
Okay, I heard three
that,
to four, so
yeah, I
possibly
heard
five.
five
I mean,
weeks, and
that's
I
even
heard that
worse,
he might.
right? That's even worse news. No, the Martinelli runs, I get it. The energy's there. The one thing I want from Martinelli, I want him to start shooting the ball more and pick his head up more, look up around the pitch. I think he gets too much in the zone and tries to be tiki taka and put it in the bottom corner. You know, there's parts of Martinelli's game that haven't been 100% yet this season either. We've talked a little bit about that, but
Yeah,
we've really been focusing on Saka, especially that he calls up Southgate and says, I'm injured. Southgate says, okay, and then benches him. Why isn't Arteta doing that? You know,
yeah,
that's the
mm,
question that really needs to be asked. And
it
yeah,
needs
I
to be
think there's an injury there. And Lee Gunner said it on his channel with Jez and Kenny Ken. If you get a slight Achilles injury and then you get a knock, which he could have easily gotten against Everton because Mukolenko practically rugby tackled him yesterday without
Oh
a
my
yellow
God.
card. But anyway,
Yeah,
if he takes another hit on that Achilles, bro, at 22 years old, it's not
mm,
good. It's not good.
it's
And
not good
I
enough.
wish Arteta would realize that he's fantastic. He's a component of the engine of the team that makes up the team. And like you said, Tony, he needs to get blistering runs. He's more effective in the box. He gets too much isolated outside of the 18-yard box, and he gets double teamed, and it just becomes a lateral or back pass, right? And then he kind of
Mm.
jogs around because he doesn't know where to go, right?
Where to
And
go,
all gets
literally.
back to what here to there says, because Saka passes the ball to Odegaard, but then there's Zinchenko right there has his fucking shadow, right? So we have, and this is the problem. The defense is set, and we're not shooting outside of the 18-yard box. We're just not
Mm,
taking those long shots. I don't know why these guys don't think they can't get a deflection. I mean,
mm.
it's just we're looking. I think at times, Tony, we're looking to score that perfect looking goal. Like we went
Perfect
through
looking goal.
and
Yeah,
through like '06, '07, '08, '09 when we had Alexander Kleb and he was trying to carve out these perfect goals and these perfect passes to sometimes just nobody was there, and
yeah,
so I think we need to really kind of start thinking about getting our shooting boots back on and realize that
mm,
we need to shoot to score, and scoring goals is an
yeah,
issue now. Um,
yeah,
but we'll
yeah.
see what PSV brings coming up, right?
Yeah, definitely. Big ups to Anthony Herbert. He's a member of this channel. Yeah, big ups to you. Yeah, he says, "Big up, lads. Hope you're well though. Game against PSV, but looking forward to the not London derby. But I'm in work."
Me too, bro.
Anthony, Anthony of all days. Yeah, the not London derby. I'm not missing it for anything. Dal, I would need you on a show with Deji Sports this week for the
Yeah,
preview of the Not London Derby. We have to be on that one with him, me and you. You
we'll,
know what do
we'll
you
we'll
say?
work out a time for sure. We'll work
We'll
out a
work at
time.
that time.
Might be a little late night or show or something, but I can make something happen.
Yeah, yeah,
I
definitely. Tony Ibarra, po po po.
Pacific
It
Northwest.
says it says po po po. Tony. Oregon Guna. Yeah, of course. Big up to you, Tony Ibarra. Wolfgang is still here. Anthony is still here. Here today is still here. See ya. DVS.
Sure.
Kai Havertz. That
Ugh.
issue. Yeah, we're coming back to it again.
Yeah,
Fabio Vieira made his debut this season. Yeah,
he did. Yeah, not bad.
and see, to be very sincere with you, he doesn't look bad. He
No,
doesn't look bad.
but remember,
He's been coming.
we're comparing
He's
him
been
to the
coming.
low bar of Havertz, though,
That's true.
right?
That's true.
If
That's true.
Havertz was in form and could actually kick a ball, Vera would be sitting right next to Sassard. And I didn't mean to interrupt you,
No,
right?
no, no. It's fact.
But
It's fact.
Vieira, but I don't want to get gassed up for Fabio Vieira is going to be able to get through a 65, 70 game season.
Hmm. Mm. But
Mm,
see, I hear you. But again, see, we have Kai Havertz.
right.
He can't run. He slows the game down. He's not the best out there in terms of footballing IQ. He's tall enough where he can use his head. His penetration this season has been shambolic. He doesn't
Mhm.
play together with the team. He doesn't have pace. He doesn't know the back of the net. This guy failed to score within 3 yards of the net against Manchester United.
Right. He
See,
did.
yeah, we have a problem in our hands, and Kai Havertz isn't looking good. And you know what? Yeah, Fabio Vieira came in and put in a
He
proper
did.
shift on the
Yeah.
day. See, I need not to tell you about the
Mhm.
passes that Fabio Vieira sprayed in that game against
He
Everton.
did.
See, yeah, and mind you, even in the goal that was scored, of course, we give credit to Odegaard for that,
Mhm.
and Saka, of course. But he initiated the movement for that goal. He initiated it at
Mhm.
first, so I'm seeing this guy is gone and bulk up a little bit. Is one of the most skinniest guys I've seen in an Arsenal shirt. And
Yeah.
then I've seen him, he's putting lots of work. He's coming, he's bulked up a little bit. He has a little bit of bite in his game and urgency in his
Mhm.
game that I've seen, a few times he's come in the season from the bench, and giving him a first start this season has been revealing because he makes those runs. He can run. He can be in those positions of danger, and that's what Kai Havertz isn't giving to us this season. He's not in at the end of the action. He's not in the danger zone. He's not in the hit map where the action is all happening. And I want my player, yeah, that I bought for 65 million
Mhm.
pounds to be in on the action, be in the danger zone. Even if the ball doesn't get to you, even if the players around you don't trust you, be in and about the danger zone and
Right.
force yourself into that danger zone. And this is what Fabio Vieira did off the bench in a couple of games, and he did it again in the last game against Everton. What's your
Right.
criticism of Fabio Vieira in that game against
Um,
Everton?
my my only criticism that he didn't score a goal. I mean, he was one of the better players on the day for sure. I'll give him props for that. But maybe he's right. I think he's probably picked up a step or two, got got a little more confidence, hit the gym a little bit more. Is maybe getting a little more protein shakes or some top curry around the corner, mate. Or something. My accent's terrible, sorry, but maybe he's eating steak curry. Who knows? But the fact of the matter is that but you can see that he wants to play, right? So
Yeah.
there's that. That's number one. You got to want to play. Kai Havertz looks like he just wants to collect a check, and sit on his thumb, right? But he wants to play. He looks like he's enjoying himself at the club. You can see the efforts there, and that pass to Jesus was sublime against United.
Oof,
You know,
oof.
and what we really want is a Sante Cortorla player.
Oh,
We want
yeah.
someone who's short and stout, but is
Mhm.
built like a brick shithouse. I guarantee Kente Cortorla could bench press me. He's
Ex-
strong, right? And he's fast.
Exactly.
He's got calves like Jack Wilshere type
And
quick
lots of trickery,
times
lots
10.
of trickery,
Lots of
lots of
trickery, right?
trickery.
And that game against Liverpool where I think we beat him 4-2 and he shot the bar, hit the crossbar, and went in and buried it again, that second
Mhm.
later. Just that's the kind of energy we need from Vieira. And that's what we saw against United. Let's cook him. So but I said we can gas up Vieira all we want, but again, we're comparing him to who? Havertz. We're comparing him to the same player that plays in his position essentially.
Mm, mm.
Is
Big ups
Vieira
to Andrew Bell. Big ups to Andrew Bell, who's a bona fide
good?
member of this channel. Yeah, that's my guy. Yeah, a true Geordie. Eh? Andrew Bell, big ups to you. Yeah, he says, hope everyone is well on the panel and chat. Yes, we're well, Andrew Bell. Andrew Bell, to be nice to see you on the show very, very soon, man. We
Mhm.
also have Dragon Lord 99. Big ups to you, Dragon Lord 99. He says, hello, Tony. Greetings from Transylvania.
Nice.
Are the vampires still there? I wanna I wanna see with my eyes.
No kidding. That's an
is,
interesting
is
lifestyle.
Dracula is Dracula still there? See, big ups to you, Dragon Lord, man. Thanks for joining us from far away, man. Big ups to you, and since you're a Gooner, I like you already. See,
Yeah,
my brother DVS, yeah. See,
yeah.
another big topic, yeah, on the day in that with that lineup was the absence of Aaron Ramsdale. Me and you
Mhm,
know, we're both factual kind of people, yeah. Me and
for sure.
you have both talked about Aaron Ramsdale and his comfort in that team.
Mhm.
No one to give this guy a little bit, a notch over the bum, a little bit. But right now, yeah, missing from the team sheet against Everton, and we really needed to win at Everton. So this is a big statement from Mikel Arteta,
You think
bringing
so?
in Dave. It's a big statement
Is it?
because we ought to win. See that
Yeah,
game against Everton. We've not won in that ground in 6 years.
I
People don't
wait.
understand this. They
Right.
don't understand this.
They had
We've not
one
won
shot
in that
on goal,
ground.
Brad. They had one shot on goal.
I know, but somehow they come up with the goods. Yeah, in previous
They
meetings
had.
in that place.
Right.
Yeah, they
But
come up with the goods. In six
I
seasons,
think
we've
there's
not
more
won there.
drama to that, bro. I think we're creating
So,
more
so,
drama
so
that's not there
technically, you would want to have your best goalkeeper there, right? Yeah,
at all times.
technically,
At all times. At
yeah,
all times.
technically, yeah,
In every Premier League game, because we want a fucking title. I want the best 11, the best goalkeeper. But Aaron
exactly.
Ramsdale would have
But
still done
when he
one
puts
shot on
Aaron to the
goal.
bench and brings in Raya, that's a big statement.
Is it? I think, but then here's what I'm saying, and I'm questioning. I know I'm questioning you. I'm questioning the chat. I'm questioning the Arsenal YouTube. Are we making something out of nothing? I mean,
Mm,
Arteta
mm,
said we're going to rotate keepers. Pep Guardiola did a Stefan Ortega. We rotate keepers. He didn't have the confidence in Matt Turner to do that. Now we do.
mm.
We let Matt Turner go for a reason because David Ray's goalkeeping coach is with us, is what I've heard. You know more
Yeah,
about that than I do. And David
yeah,
Ray is a top fucking keeper. But he didn't
yeah.
show me anything that Aaron Ramsey couldn't do yesterday. There was one. I mean, I want to see David Raya go up against Liverpool and Man City. Then I want to see who's the best. Because if David Raya lets 5 goals go past him against Liverpool, the evidence will speak for itself, and Ramsdale will be back in there. If Ramsdale gives up 4 or 5 goals to Liverpool, I expect David Raya to be in there the following weekend. But they're going to
Mm.
rotate goalkeepers, and I think it's great. I think there's a false narrative floating around that Ramsdale's mad, blah blah blah. I'm sure he's disappointed. Well, he better buck the fuck up then, because this is professional football, and he's the
Mm.
one who was giving it large, right, to the opposing side.
Yeah, yeah,
You
exactly,
know,
exactly,
right, there's a
exactly.
comfort level
It's
that
put
comes
up or
in,
shut up.
but at the same time, how many fucking times, Tony, did we give him man of the match? How many times did we give Ramsdale man of the match last season and the season before? I would reckon we gave him man of the match 8 times last season. Eight
Mhm.
games we gave him that. Is David Raya going to get us man of the match 8 times? I really, really, really doubt it. And I'm not taking anything away, but Aaron Ramsdale was fucking phenomenal last season. A little iffy towards the end, but the whole squad was dead at the end, to be honest. The
To
Liverpool
be
game was the
honest,
only highlight we had in the last 4 games. So, not to beat a dead horse about last season, but Aaron Ramsdale, again, has done nothing wrong to really lose a place, but he needs competition. So, maybe it was good for Arteta to freshen it up. Fine, David Raya did great, but he didn't do shit because there was nothing to do. He had great distribution. I gave him props for that. I think I gave him a 7 or a 6 because he didn't have anything to do.
yeah,
Saliba
yeah,
controlled
uh,
that game, bro.
uh,
Saliba and
that's it.
Declan Rice absolutely controlled that game.
But
I could have been
but
the
but
goalkeeper. I could have sat there like this, smoking
but
my shit all day watching that game as a goalkeeper with some fancy gloves on, getting 100 grand a week, bro. I mean, I don't want to create this false narrative that there's this problem between Arteta, Ramsdale, Raya, where it doesn't exist. If Ramsdale is having
mm,
needs a rest, he needs a rest. But I want that same philosophy for Saka. I want that same philosophy for Martinelli when he gets burned out. I want that same philosophy for Declan Rice when he gets burnt out. Right? If
mm.
we can switch goalkeepers around, we can definitely switch around a right winger once in a while.
See, I hear you, but again, I think people are a little bit harsh on David Raya, yeah, saying, the game was quiet, nothing was to be done, or something like that. Sometimes you don't have to rely on those things. Sometimes you can also rely on how progressive the goalkeeper is.
Sure.
Yeah, in recent times, yeah, Aaron Ramsdale hasn't been a progressive keeper. What I mean by a progressive keeper is fine tune your ball distribution
Mm,
to help the team to progress the ball up the pitch and do it in time. Yeah, do it in
mm,
time. For some time now, when he first came, his ball distribution was quite very good. Yeah, and then I started noticing that his crossfield kicks were either
mm.
going to the throw-in area, which was
Right.
sky
Sure.
high, and these are signs of someone who is pretty much comfortable in that position.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I want to be that guy that want to shake things up a little bit. Yeah,
Right.
I want to shake things up a little bit. So if David Raya is that guy that will come in and shake things up a little bit, I'm all up for it. But you know what? Yeah, apart from his ball distribution, yeah, also remember he kept a clean sheet. When was the last time? When was the last time that Aaron Ramsdale kept a clean sheet?
Well, I mean, come on, Tony. I just said that. I mean, I could have been back there smoking a spliff yesterday with the defense, right? Because there was nothing to do. And I mean, that's a good argument. But the goals that we've been scored on have been decent goals. I think there's maybe one or two he could have probably done a little bit more. But I mean, it's such fine margins you're talking about. I just
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
I
yeah.
like
And
to think
yeah,
the
I
false
know.
narrative out there that Ramsdale's shit now because Ray is here. I mean, that's just not the
No,
case.
no, no, no. I didn't say he's shit. But
No, I
again, he
understand.
needs competition. He needs
Right.
competition. The goal that Nottingham Forest scored, the mistake by Saka, he was
Mm.
out of position. He was
He
out of
was.
position. He
Yeah,
was
the
out
one
of
for
position.
Fulham, the
Yeah,
one for
yeah, yeah.
Fulham, the one
Yeah.
for Fulham, David Raya would have been saved. Maybe, right? I mean, who knows? You kick the ball up, you expect Saka to get it and gun, and you move up with your defense as the goalie, and you kind of do your thing, and all of a sudden it just kind of goes ass backwards, right? Saka loses the ball, it gets kicked up, boom, there's what's his name, Pereira to put it in the back, and that kid's
Mm,
an ace. I mean, he's
exactly.
not.
But
Yeah, I mean, I just Aaron Ramsdale's going to make mistakes. David Ray is going to make mistakes. I just don't want this to think that us all to think that there's this this conflict with Ramsdale and Raya and even Arteta. He's going to make selections. We have to change around the goalkeeper, just exactly what the assemble said. He needs a break
mm,
from time to time, and David Raya is better than Matt Turner. So
mm,
it's a great loan to buy, but I don't think we should just completely think that there's something dramatic in yesterday's game. Because if you're going to
the-
believe in somebody, and you're right, maybe the Everton game isn't the right one, or maybe now it is the right one for Rhea, and it wasn't
mm,
the right one for Ramsdale. But either way, either goalie had shit to do and could have made sat out there and had a picnic. So
exactly.
he controlled it all, man, and that's what we want, right? We don't want our goalkeeper to be busy,
Okay, I'm
right?
gonna see. You know what? Yeah, Oregon Guna. Let me put you in the game because you're
All right,
waxing lyrical. Let me put you in the game.
sure.
See, uh, David Raya versus Aaron Ramsdale. Who is the better goalkeeper?
Statistically, David Raya, from all the stats I've seen and everything. So, right, yes, yes.
Okay.
If I'm picking the top 11, he would be in there. But but I got to put the little asterisk in there, right? Is that
If it's
the,
the
the,
if it's
I,
the best, if it's
the
the
stats are
best,
there
why
for
don't
Brent,
you
but at
want?
the same time, the stats were there for Brentford, right? That's a whole different defense. That's a
Why
whole different setup. I want
why
to see what
don't you
he
want
does
the
against
best?
Arsenal.
See,
And so
see,
far in an
see, see,
Arsenal shirt, Ramsdale is better. In an
see,
Arsenal
see,
shirt,
see,
Ramsdale's better.
see. This is the problem
Well,
I
said
have.
right there, Raya needs a real test.
This is the problem I have. We're out here criticizing why Kai Havertz is
Mm,
playing over Fabio Vieira or even over Emmy Smith Rowe. Yeah? I do think that these players are better than him. And if statistically
mm,
these players are better than him, yeah, and we're playing Trossard, it's an aberration. It's a disgrace. Yeah. So if we want the best, yeah,
Hmm.
in those situations. Why don't we want the best in our goalkeeping position? If David Raya statistically is the best to be in that position,
Right.
why are we fighting? It's a rage against the machine. So why are we fighting against something that is going to bring stability to our team at the end of the day in terms of the statistics of David Raya?
Right.
It's proven that he's a more better goalkeeper than Aaron Ramsdale. He hasn't relegated any team. Aaron Ramsdale has relegated two teams. Yeah, from the
Mm.
Premiership.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
no,
yeah.
no,
So what
you're
are we
right.
talking about?
You're right.
But
If you're going by the book and the analytics, but David Raya has done nothing in an Arsenal shirt. So you're looking at statistics with David Raya having a Brentford defense. He's going to have more shots. The ratios are going to be different because Brentford gives up more shots, right? There's more shots for him to save. There's more goal kicks for him to make. There's more distribution of events that he has to make because their defense is worse. I want to see we it's hard to say that, Tony,
yeah,
that
then
one's
if
better than the
Arsenal,
other because
but
we haven't really seen David Ray in a full
but
season
that
yet.
backs the whole point, right? That backs the whole
Yeah,
point
for
for
sure. I think
Arsenal
we
because
both have points. We both are
yeah,
making
if Arsenal
points
have a more superior defense than Brentford, and at
for
Brentford
sure.
is having a more better record with a shitty defense, and Arsenal's defense is more better, he can come into that Arsenal defense and make it more
Right.
better.
Yeah, but
So it actually,
we'll
it's
see.
still
I mean,
in
it's
a
going to
way.
be different, right? We're going to face different shots. It's going to become from different angles. It's going to be communicating differently with Gabriel Saliba and Benny Blanco and whoever's playing left in Zinchenko or whoever's there, if he's there, right, is the back three essentially.
Mm,
So
mm,
I don't know. We have to see David Ray in a shirt, Tony. That's all I gotta say, and make a
yeah,
real comparison of okay, Ramsdale fucked up here, here, and here, and Raya would have done this, would have, could have, should have, would have. Let's
coulda,
just
shoulda,
drop all
woulda.
that because there's nothing we can do about that, right?
Mm,
Like our man Wolf said, there's nothing you can do against God and government. So
mm. Big
we
ups
just
to the Assembled. The Assembled is down here. That's a big, big friend of this channel. Yeah, I around you, man. The Assembled, man. From the beginning, you've been here with me and Oregon Guna. Big ups to you, man.
we got
From the beginning, you've been on this channel. He says, "Greetings, fellows, and the chat room." Wolfang is still here. Yeah, he says, "They defending was poor back end offers." We also have Anfield Uncle Rod. Uncle Rod has a lovely Liverpool channel, guys. Go and
yeah,
subscribe to
really
that guy. Yeah, he's always coming down here to bless up my show. To big ups to him, and we'll be seeing more of Anfield Rod because he's a Liverpool fan. And see, Oregon Guna, Liverpool are looking good this season.
oh
Yeah.
they are.
So
I
yeah, they're looking good. They're not losing games.
yeah
Their
no
midfielders they just brought in are looking good. Gravenbach is looking good. Shalaxpola is looking good. The
yeah,
McAllister total steal from the middle of the
yeah
park
sure
from Brighton is looking good.
yeah
That team is cruising. They're
yeah
playing well. The strikers are scoring goals. Darwin Nunes in on the
mhm,
act. Salah is scoring
yeah.
goals.
He's kind of making a Darwin Noonan haters kind of shut their mouths right about now because we absolutely slaughtered him last season. And,
Cody Gapco is
Cody
looking good.
Gakpo,
Yeah,
I wanted him at Arsenal actually.
that,
So
that Liverpool team is looking
yeah,
like a team that's going to challenge for the title this season.
Klopp got the
Although
players he wanted.
Although it's still too early to say that because they just had a major rebuild. That's the thing. But with the way they're playing, yeah, these guys can absolutely maul teams. But again, this is not a Liverpool stuff. Yeah, big ups to
Right. Yeah.
Anfield Rod, and also big ups to here to there, and also Luca AFC. Big ups to you, Luca. Go subscribe to that channel. Big ups to Luca. See, let's move into PSV game. Yeah,
Mm,
PSV game on Wednesday.
mm,
PSV, they don't lose. They're at the summit of the Dutch Eredivisie. They have 12 points. Ajax is not finding joys in the league right now for the
right.
in the Eredivisie. I think they're in I think sixth, seventh position right now. I'm talking of Ajax of Amsterdam.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
PSV is topping that table with 12 points in 4 games. I think the last time they lost a game was about maybe 6 games or so,
Mhm.
and they're not looking too bad. So it's going to be a very, very maybe not difficult, but it's going to be a
Technically.
decent, yeah, a very decent technical game coming
Yeah.
up on Wednesday. Do we have enough in the bag, enough in the armory to kind of outgun these guys when they come in and visit us at the Emirates?
Yes. I'm pretty confident, but I'm not overly confident because of what the form we're in right now. It's very inconsistent. It's up and down. We don't know what we're going to get from one game to the next, let alone 1 minute to the next in some cases, right? So I'm worried about our form now, and we're not free flowing enough. We're not scoring goals from open play enough. I mean, the Trossard goal was great, but I just feel, like with the United game and even the Nottingham Forest game, Fulham, I just don't feel 100% confident yet that we're just going to go in there and batter them, 3 or 4-0. Um, it's going to be tricky. I was looking at their squad earlier. They have some pretty good players like Luke De Jong, Sevilla used to score for them. Noah Lang's a good player. They have Chucky
They
Lozano,
have
Mexican.
Lang, they have Bakayako,
Johan Bakayako, the
Bakayako.
Belgian forward. Yeah. Sabari, a Moroccan guy, who's 4 appearances, 2 goals. We're going to have our hands full because they're still a young team. We're a pretty young team. But I think if Arteta gets the lineup right, keeps Havertz, and I want to talk about Havertz in a minute, but I don't want to see Eddie and Nketiah up front. I want to see Trossard up front with Reece Nelson on the right, Trossard up front. I don't know, ESR on the left. I want to see something different, right? Something different.
Mm.
Um, but back to sort of how this involves Kai Havertz. I think that
Big
he
ups
needs.
to Recap New. I'm sorry, Oregon Guna. Recap New. Big ups to you, man. Your chat is up here. Is a member of this channel, and that membership was courtesy, of course, our friend Oregon Guna. Oregon Guna does this thing to just dashed out lots of membership to lots of people. Big ups to you, man. Oregon Guna. God bless you. And he says, yeah, big up the guys in the panel. Chat up, late. No work, rain all day in the here in the UK. Big ups to you, Rap Cat New man. Yeah, big ups. Yeah, I reckon Gunnar, you were saying something.
Yeah, I just think that there's opportunities for them to exploit us. They're tactically good, and they're going to work as hard. But back to like Kai Havertz, maybe this is the games that Arteta bought him for. Maybe we'll see something in these European matches. And I said
Mm,
that the other day on American or Monday or American 80 show. I don't remember,
yeah.
or yesterday's review show. But I as much as we thrash Kai Havertz, as much as we don't want him, I don't even want him on the bus. I don't think he's a Premier League player. I think there's something possibly there that he can do with lower European competition. I'm
Mm.
not. I wouldn't play him against Real Madrid, Inter Milan, nothing like that. But I think there's some effectiveness that he can bring when it comes to teams like Lens,
See,
Sevilla.
see, see. We paid
No,
65 million
maybe
pounds for
this
this
year.
guy. We paid 65 million pounds for this guy. He
Right,
should
I
be.
know.
He should
I
be in
know.
this
I
game.
know. I know. And he should be. He should be one of the first ones on the sheet. But he doesn't. He's done nothing, Tony, but scored one Champions League goal to back this up. And I know Wolfie. I think he went on and said he scored a goal in this and that. Great. But he's not with Chelsea anymore. He's with us, and we don't understand why he has started Premier League games. Why we spent so much money for him. But in the overall scheme of things, he was a very, very good player in Champions League play with Leverkusen, and he was pretty decent with Chelsea, even though he was shit in the Prem for them.
Yeah.
So we may see something out of this, right? We may see something. I go back to my first thought when we first bought him. Oh, perfect. A sub for Odegaard when Odegaard gets tired. Because Kai Havertz is a central attacking midfielder. He's not a winger. He's not a left mid. He's not he's kind of a box to box, but not really. Like, he's a central attacking mid. He was successful at Leverkusen. There's no way that all that talent is just drained out of him now, right? And again, I don't rate him in the Premier League. I don't want to get slaughtered for like even trying to back him or people saying I'm backing him. But I think there's a talent there that can do something in European group stage competition. I would not play him in the knockout stages. I want to be very clear. I want to be very specific that there's some things I think he can do in the right position against light European competition.
Again, see, yeah, coming from the bench, yeah, and see, this is where I want to see the mentality of Kai Havertz. Yeah,
Right.
in
Bring
a
it.
game
What can
in
you
a
do?
game like Everton, in a very important game like that Everton game, Mikel Arteta drops a 65 million pound player on the bench.
65.
65 million pound player
65. Oh, I
on
thought you
the
said 5
bench.
million. Yeah. Okay. I thought you said 5 million for a second.
No,
Okay.
65.
65. No. Okay.
Yeah,
We're on the right
he
page.
keeps
Okay.
it. That's his star signing this season, whether we like it or not, because he's the most expensive player apart from Declan Rice. Yeah,
Declan
he is
Rice
a
was the
star
star.
player. Yeah,
For
yeah,
65 million, you're signing a
but
star. Yeah, I
but
get what you're
again,
saying.
when you spending 65 million pound
It's a
on a
star
player,
player
that's a star signing.
for sure.
Apart
For
from the
sure.
100, yeah. So see, and he keeps his star player on the bench. Yeah, we need to see a response from him. If he
Mhm.
has a big mentality, yeah, and a resurgent mentality, he would think, hey, I came into this football club for 65 million pounds. I've started most of the games this season. The
Mhm.
manager keeps me on the bench in a very, very important match that they had to win away from home in the ground they've not won in 6 seasons. He needed me there, but he didn't believe in me. So he kept me on the bench. I should be in this PSV game. I
Mhm.
should be coming. I should be scoring a goal to put the manager back in my good books. Do you think Kai Havertz has the mentality to bounce back in this game against PSV?
No, no. I think it's going to take. I think it's going to take. Gosh, how do I think about this? That's a very good question. I don't, like I said, I don't think all of the talent just is gone, right? You don't just wake up one day and say, "Oh, all of a sudden I can't play football." Um, I, it's a tricky one, Tony, because it's up to him, right? It's up to him. He needs to decide if he wants to really make something of this experience of Arsenal, make something of the experience of being a professional footballer. Um, I don't know if he's smart enough and brave enough to have that conversation with Arteta because he needs to go into the office now and he needs to sit down with the gaffer, right, and say, "This is what I want to do. What,
Yeah.
but what are you wanting me to do?" Right? He has to show on the pitch that he's capable of even, advancing the ball forward. You know,
Progressing the
and
ball.
I don't, and I don't want to
Progressing
hear
the
the
ball. He
scenario
does
like you said
nothing.
of in Kedia earlier. Oh, all the coaches in training say he's fucking class. I mean, they could be saying the same thing in Havertz. I'm sure they are, but again, it's training, bro. We don't win a trophy off of training. You, I want to see what he can do in lesser European competition. If it turns out to be a complete shit show against PSV, then we'll absolutely know where our $65 million signing is.
Yes,
But
exactly. I agree.
to keep benching him isn't really going to solve anything, right? I mean, it will. That sounded weird, right? Because we could be winning games if he's benched, right? Just like yesterday. But
Sounds weird.
that's a problem. So essentially, Arteta, the dumbass that he is, has created himself a problem because he's not able to get the best out of Eddie and Kenya, who was our project boy last season or the season before, right? And now he's got another project on his hand with Kai Havertz. I don't know why he's making it harder for himself. He's making it harder for us to even figure out why the hell he's even here, Tony, and where to
Exactly.
put him,
Exactly.
and why should he play? Because we spent the money. Well, why did we spend the money? Well, ask fucking Adu. No one
You know
knows
what?
because it's such a surprise signing. It came out of the blue like it would be like an asteroid hitting the Earth, bro. We had no idea he was coming in. We
See,
were
yeah,
all up in
guys.
Rice and Timber, waiting for
But
them
but
to
again,
trade us.
see, Jamio says, "Big up Tony and Tony Claude and Dow."
Yeah,
Jamio. Oh wait, pause, pause, pause. course.
A legend.
Jamio is in the house, guys. Jamio is in the house, yeah, guys. Big ups to Jamio. Great guy. He gets a po po po. Po po po. Yeah, big up to you, Jamio. See ya, Oregon Guna. We'll play PSV. What formation do you want to see Mikel Arteta play? And mind
Mm,
you, to our next topic, we have
some
the
injuries.
NLD coming up in the weekend.
Oh, right,
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
I think Mikel Arteta will be one step ahead
He's
thinking of that not London derby because you know
yes,
what? Yeah, even
yeah.
if we're fighting foreign wars, we also have to think of our troops down there back home, right? Yeah. Uh, I'm sorry, I'm not making any allusion to America fighting wars out there, and forgetting that
Us? War? What are you talking about?
forgetting that there's a crack epidemic in San
Hey man,
Francisco.
hey, I got to say one thing now. I love America. I love my country, but for those who are in the know, the genocide that's happening to youth in Chicago would not go unnoticed by the UNICEF and the United Nations. Trust me.
Yeah, exactly. You can see what's
Let's
going on down there. But
yeah,
again, we're talking football too, so that's
we are.
understandable. Yeah, that's understandable. But see, yeah, we also have to have one eye back at home to that not London derby because it's a
We
very big
do.
one.
It
And
is
football,
huge, huge.
and football, and
Yeah,
football is
yeah,
taking over. Yeah, he's galvanized that Tottenham team. He's
yeah.
changing the whole landscape for Tottenham Hotspurs. He's
I wouldn't
getting
go
in on
that
the
far.
act. Kane, a
Out.
prominent figure just left that football club.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's getting them scoring. It's like Kane never left. Yeah, uh, Son scored a
Slow
hat trick.
down.
Son scored a hat trick in one of the most toughest places to get a hat trick in Tough Moor. Richarlison, who declared himself mentally ill in
Yeah, which
Brazil, has come
yeah.
up and scored a goal just last weekend. Kulusevski just scored a goal last weekend also.
I am
There is
just
no problem. This is Ange football in overdrive. We need to think of that game also. But again, one game at a time, right? Good. So
yeah,
we'll talk about this PSV game, but I still do think that our team selection should also be we
considered.
should also kind of like reserve a little
Yep,
bit of armory for something coming up
I
in that
agree.
not London derby. It's very important because the league is my target. We all know that the Champions League is not our target. Yeah, if I get into the semi-finals of the Champions League, that's a plus. We can go on and win it. I would like that. The semi-finals of the Champions League is okay for me, but my main target is recapturing that Premiership title. And
Right.
if we have a blow again in the not London derby. If we
Yep.
have a blow in that game, it's gonna
Yep.
hurt me. I want that
Oh,
game put to rest. I want to shut Deji Sports up. I want to shut Tottenham Hotspur up. I don't like that team. I literally hate Tottenham Hotspurs. Oregon Gunnar, you know me. I don't have a hate for anyone, but
right.
I hate Tottenham Hotspurs with a passion. I don't like these guys. They're so cocky for my liking for a club that doesn't win any trophies.
That's true.
I want to see them put on the leash. So we should be thinking of that game in lieu, of that game. But again, what formation and what players and what lineup would you like to see in this game against PSV?
PSV. Well, I like to see. I'm going to name a couple names that people will be like, "What?" I want to see Nathan Inwari. I think his name's Inwari, youngster, and I want to see our man Kosher Dewberry because now you've really put things in perspective.
Mm.
We can play some youngsters against PSV. There's no problem to pull some reserve youngsters for PSV. Saka gets rested. Martinelli's out for 3 to 4 weeks. I saw someone in the chat asking about that. It's about
But
four,
the
four to
problem is
5 weeks.
if we lose the game, then it's a big problem.
But
People would
no,
say,
no,
"Oh,
not as bad as we losing to Tottenham, right? It's the less of two evils, Tony. Well, but this, I mean, I think we can beat PSV at home. I'm pretty confident we can beat them. I am not confident about going up against Tottenham.
Mm.
right? So if I'm Arteta, I say, okay, yeah, let's mix that
Oh,
pot, baby. I'm
Oregon
resting
good. I
Saka,
respect.
I'm resting Rice, I'm starting
Okay.
Jorginho. I'm going to say, I'm going to go pat El Neni on the back and say, your time is up, son. Go to war, right? For PSV. I'm going to go talk to, some of the hipster youngster players. I'm going to call Charlie Patino in Blackpool, have him come back in, right? I'm going to have it a birthday party like it's a fucking pizza party with a bunch of kids running around playing video games and shit like that. So yeah, we I'm going to bite my tongue. We can drop the PSV game because it's group stage. It's group stage. It's going to work itself out. It's going to work
See,
itself out. But
Oregon
we
Gunner,
cannot
Oregon
drop
Gunner,
points against
Oregon Gunner. I have
fucking
a problem
studs.
with that. I have a
I know.
problem with
Let
that,
me finish.
Oregon Gunner.
Let me finish. But it's all depends on the lineup. I can't give the lineup I want. I can't give you because the reserve players I don't know them like the hipsters do because we need reserves now, right? Martinelli's out, Party's out. Do you want to put Declan Rice in? Do you want to play Declan Rice against PSV or Jorginho?
Mm.
Right? These are the decisions we have to make. I would slot Jorginho in there for Declan Rice against PSV all day long. I
But
have
but
no
but but
problem with Trossard on the left or ESR coming in. Vieira,
Oregon Gunner, I hear
Jorginho,
you.
ESR,
I hear you. But
Vieira.
but I hear you. But you know our fan base right now, yeah? We're looking for who to chop up right now. If Mikel Arteta brings in the changes, yeah,
Yeah,
and we somehow don't win that game against PSV, the discourse analysis that will be out there will be that, oh, you disrespected the Champions League.
it's
The
group
last time
stage.
you were here was 7 years ago. Why would you
That's
disrespect the
disrespect.
Champions League like that? So
But
all these narratives will start coming out. So
that's part of the managers. Answer those questions and deflect as much as possible. Then those critics that are saying that, okay, then you go play Tottenham 4 days later. You go suit up and play Tottenham at the Toilet Bowl Stadium 4 days later. Tony, we have to look at Tottenham. We have to beat them. We have to beat them. I don't.
mm,
If we draw PSV, great, fine. We get a point. We move on. If we lose to PSV, we'll switch it up. But we have opportunities, right? We have one shot at the Derby. One shot to get 3 points.
mm,
He has to play
mm,
his best 11 on Saturday or Sunday, whatever
on
the day is.
Sunday, yeah.
Sunday,
Do,
okay.
do we have a do we have a
George,
best 11?
bro, okay, my PSV is this. It's Zinchenko on the left. It's Raya and goal. Zinchenko on the left. Kivior and oh god, what's his name? Kivior and God, Saliba. I can't think of Saliba, but I only want Saliba in for like a half. I want a Polar Reserve kid.
Tomiyasu can
Oh yeah,
come
thank you,
in.
Tommy Yasu. Right.
Tomiyasu.
Give Ben White a rest, put Tommy Yasu at right, or whoever's going to invert, it's going to be three defenders. The defense, Zinchenko and Tommy Yasu got to be in there. Zinchenko can play 2 games in a row within 5 days, pretty easily. Then I want to see Jorginho on the left. I want to see ESR. I mean Vieira, and on the right, I want ESR. And then my attacking three is yeah.
If you're playing
Attacking
Fabio
three
Vieira,
on the left, I want Trossard. Up top, I'll take Eddie, and on the right, I'll take Ginger.
Oregon Gunner, if you're playing Fabio Vieira, then you're making a case for Kai Havertz to start in the London
Swap
Derby.
them. I'll take Havertz on the left with Jorginho in the middle and ESR on the right. You're right. I said you're right. I just waffled my ass back like an Eggo waffle factory. Put Havertz in because I want to see him against European competition. This is like
See,
fucking deja
Root
vu.
Cav,
Right, and
Root
see,
Cav.
this is the problem of a manager, and this is why I am sort of on the edge of Arteta out, but at the same time, who can figure all this out, bro? It's a good problem to have in a sense. It's bad that we have Martinelli and Thomas Partey out, but essentially, there's so many combinations he could essentially do. But he's going to have to bring in some reserves, Tony. He's going to have to look at Nathan and Wari. He's going to have to look at Kosher Dewberry and Saka. But of all people, Saka should not be playing in this game. And Eddie
Exactly.
Nketiah, play him in the game because I want Jesus ready for North London Derby.
For the North London
Trossard
Derby.
can play. I think
See,
Trossard has it in him to play for 2 games straight in 5 days.
ladies and
I think
gentlemen, this
Trossard
is
has
why Ruth Calf just said, put up the statement and said, Oregon
it.
Guna
Yeah, well, thank you.
is a proper top G. That is a top G, yeah. That's
My
when a
guy,
top G talks, man.
my guy. Thank you. You're a top G2 brother.
Top G, man. See, okay, what's your prediction for that game against PSV?
I think we're going to do them 3-0. I think we'll probably get one in the first half, probably one in the mid second half, and then end it. I don't really see them. If he plays a decent lineup, I don't really see them scoring. They've, like I said, I read off 3 or 4 good players in their lineup. If we can contain their wingers, especially Noah Lang, we'll be all right. They'll be all right. Their
Mhm.
midfield is not that good. And
I think we'll beat them 4 goals to 1. I
okay.
think they'll be a little bit scared about what they will meet at the Emirate. I think when they see Trossard running at them, for some reason, I do think that Mikel Arteta won't rest Bukayo Saka. You know him. He loves to play this guy. He would outwork this guy. He wants the engine to knock off this guy's shoulders and this guy's legs. So I'm
Right.
sorry, until his limbs and until his arms and shoulders are blasted limb by limb and leg by leg. Mikel Arteta will field this guy for 90 minutes. We all know that will happen. So yeah, exactly. But see, yeah, I really do think that we'll beat them by 4 goals to 1 because I think that we'll have enough firepower that will intimidate them. I really do think that this is the first Champions League game that we're playing in 7 seasons. Mikel Arteta would want to field Declan Rice. Declan Rice would want to make an appearance in this game. Yeah, of
Yeah.
course, it's a
Yeah.
Champions League. He just won in Europe. He has an European trophy. He wants to
True.
come in and play Champions League too. So these are the nights that these players want to register.
Right.
Want to register what they can do. And mind you, most of these players don't have Champions League football. As part of their
Mhm.
CV. Bukayo
Mhm.
Saka hasn't played a Champions League game yet, so
Mhm.
he wants to
True.
play. Yeah, he
Right.
wants to play. Even Martinelli is kicking on his heels right now
I
why he's
understand.
injured because he
I
wants
get
to
it.
play Champions League
Yeah.
football.
Yeah.
So,
I
the big
respect
boys
that.
in the teams want to play Champions League football. So
I respect
I
that.
do think that even if we want to rest them, they want to play because it's
Right.
Champions League. They
I
want
right.
to, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
They
respect that,
need
man.
that.
And I just feel like with the North London Derby right around the corner, Arteta's got
For
some
me,
real
it's the
hard
bigger one.
decisions to make. And it is
Exactly.
5 days, and that kind of Thursday, Friday. I mean, 4.5, 5 days. It does put things in perspective. And you're right. Without some of those players you named, we're kind of toothless in some aspects, right? And PSV is going to be tough. And I
Yeah.
said light European competition. I'm looking at like Lens, right? They're bottom of the French league. We should absolutely annihilate them
We should
without
annihilate those people, right?
Trossard and Jesus, right? But also, and what you said on Declan Rice is 100% correct. We may see him pop in there because 4.5, 5 days is a long time for someone like Declan Rice. He doesn't need that long to recharge. Not a lot of these players should. But I do not want to see Saka in there. Absolutely at all. Under any circumstances, do not play Saka. Do
Yeah,
not play
but
Gabri.
but again, if you're 100,
Well, he's not, Tony.
but
He's not.
again, if you're £105 million player, I'm sorry, you should be recharging.
So Declan Rice. So
Okay,
Declan
you
Rice.
should be
I thought
recharging.
you were talking about Saka. So Saka, he's
Okay.
slightly injured. I don't want Saka even near PSV. We don't. They're going to be tough, but I don't. But we're not facing fucking Madrid, man. We're not facing Inter or Munich, and it's the very first game. I want the 3 points too, like here to there. And Ray says, I want the 3 points just as badly as anyone else. But we have to keep in perspective, guys. The North London Derby means fucking everything. This trophy this year means everything. Everything. We
Yeah,
need to do everything we can at the Premier League trophy. A loss or a draw to to Tottenham Hotspur will fuck our season in the end. It will come
Yeah,
back to bite us in the end. Like we know, because we're just talking Ange football. Ange football is not going to stop unless they get
yeah,
injuries. If they get injuries to if they keep Madison and Buscema injury free, it's going to be a very, very, very tough season for us to fight with them for a top four
yeah.
position.
Top
I
four
don't
position.
mind losing. I don't see us losing to PSV. If we somehow draw to them, if it's 1-1 and it's an ugly game and it's penalties or something, or PSV score a goal and something happens, that happens in football. But the thing
Yeah,
is, we play PSV again. We played Lens twice. We play Sevilla twice. There's many more opportunities to get points. We cannot recoup from a loss at Tottenham Hotspur. We can recoup from a loss at PSV. But trust me, guys, I want the points so fucking bad. I can't even begin to tell you, right? I want to win it all. I want every fucking game I want to win.
I want
Every
everything,
no,
everything,
will
everything,
not drop the standard
everything.
at all in this club. I've waited 24 years, 21 years for another title. I'm tired of waiting. And I value the Champions League more than I value my a lot. Right?
Exactly,
I value it
exactly.
more than a lot of possessions, that's for sure. So
Mm,
the fact of the matter is, Tony, is as a diehard Gooner, I can slide a bit on the PSV fixture. I can understand that we need to make changes because the North London Derby means everything, and we have to have the best fit squad for that. We have to
for
win
that,
that game. We
I
can
agree.
draw
I agree.
PSV,
I
and we will
agree.
be okay.
Exactly. I
That's,
agree.
that's my
I
feeling on the
agree
team.
because someone has to put a stop to this Tottenham Hotspur's movement. Yeah, they are flying. These guys are flying. Yeah, I'm seeing the way Ange has just come in. See, no one gave this guy a chance, and that's the beautiful thing. No one gave this guy the chance and the light of day. But this guy's come to Tottenham, yeah. He's galvanized the whole thing. He's galvanized the culture. This guy just lost Kane. They just lost Kane.
Right. But they picked up James
Do you
Madison,
understand
who
the
is
gravity of
class.
what that
Oh, I
means? And they're
understand.
scoring
No, I
goals.
get it.
Yeah,
I
and
get
they're
it.
scoring
It's a
goals. They're
massive
playing good
loss for them.
football. They're passing the ball around. He's
Right.
making them look like prime Barcelona.
Oh,
That's
come
what
on. Now,
Ange.
let's not go pulling their dicks too much, bro. Come on. Shit. Let's let's have let's have a little
A
bit of
breather, right?
common sense, Tony. Okay. I mean, like, let's see, Fulham, Burnley, Sheffield, and a horrible shit United. United who are worse basically than Sheffield, in all honesty. So yeah, I mean, let's not go tooting the horn too much, right? We're a different fish to fry than fucking Fulham and Burnley. I mean, it's going to be a fought
I
battle.
thought you
I
weren't
definitely
into.
see a nil-nil, 1-1 out
I
of that
thought
game.
you
I
weren't
don't know.
into. I thought you weren't into frying of fishes, my brother.
I love fish and chips, mate. Come on. I'm going to take you to the horse grass whenever you get to Portland, the English bar down the road. Fresh fish and
Definitely,
chips
I'll
for
definitely see you
breakfast.
at Oregon. I'll
Newcastle's will be
definitely be
flowing.
coming to Portland. I'll definitely come
Excellent.
to Portland and come see you. See, yeah,
Yeah, see,
guys, we've
we'll set
come
it
to
right
the end.
there.
Yeah,
They
guys, we've come to
trash.
the end of the show. Yeah, but because I don't want
Okay.
to keep Oregon Guna
Oh,
too
no.
long. Let's
Too
see,
much fun.
1 hour, 30 minutes.
Good
But
time.
guys, yeah, this was fun, man. Anytime I
Yes.
have, see,
Awesome.
see it, guys in the chat. I'm so happy that I was able to get Oregon Gunner around and get him to do this show. Yeah, and mind you, he was high flying already in the American Idiot show, and I was like, man, no, 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 I need this brother. I need this brother doing a show with me down here on my
Good.
channel, man. And even apart from that, Oregon Gunner has been a rock. I keep saying this on shows whenever he's here because sometimes you have to herald your heroes. Yeah,
Mm.
sometimes not until death. Give the heroes that were always there for you. You give them facial value, and both at the front and at the back, you have to give them their encomiums and herald them because these are heroes. Oregon Guna is a hero of mine. When my channel just started, and I had going back and forth and everything. Was part of those people to help me and give me that backing and everything. Oregon Gunner, thanks for coming to the show, man.
Thank
God
you, brother.
bless you. And you can see what we're building here. The community is fine. People like you down here. I might not be really liked down here, but I do know that
You're very much liked, bro. Not to worry.
these guys care about me.
I
Yeah, they
haven't heard a
care
bad
about
word spoken about you at all. It's all right. And like you said about community, we're all part of this community. People come and go, and we involve new people, and everyone has their say because everyone loves the game and the banter, and that's what it's all about at the end. We're all human beings. We all have feelings and emotions and families and people we care about, but um, we love our clubs just a little bit more.
me.
Just as much,
Exactly.
right? Just as much. So thank
Exactly.
you again,
Exactly.
Tony, for a great fun show, and everybody in the chat. Wolf, Rakim New, the assembled Tony, boop boop boop, PNW
Po, po,
baby.
po, Tony Barra.
Uh,
Tony Barra calls you the most sexiest
I've heard that.
Oregonian.
I know it's between him and Carl Rossi. I don't know. My wife might have a bit of a fight on her hands, but but no, I appreciate that. It's really really funny. But yeah, Tony, just to kind of just summarize, I think that um, looking at the North London Derby coming up, I think PSV is a little. It's going to be tough, but we can get a draw, and I think we can still look at the Champions League as something that's achievable because we do have a group that I think is beatable. So
Mm,
again,
mm.
man, thanks everyone today. It was a good time.
Sorry, Oregon Guna, you're not
Yeah.
going to escape this one. What
Oh
is your prediction for the game against Tottenham Hotspurs?
man, I'm gonna do a show on Friday too. For my preliminary one, I'm gonna go. It's at the Toilet Bowl, isn't it? We got to go there.
Correct.
Um, I'm gonna go 2-2 right now until I kind of see the lineups. Get an idea of where people are playing. But for right now, 2-2. I'm thinking that they're better, but they're not that good. They're defensive. You mean Christian Romero's okay. Van der Beek, whatever the f his name is, he's going to have a hard time with our forwards in attack because he's from the Dutch league. So there's something to be said there. But 2-2. I think a 2-2 right now is a fair guess.
2-2.
Yeah, there's goals in
Yeah,
it, man. There's going to be
yeah,
goals in
yeah,
it.
yeah, 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 yeah. But anyway, I don't think that I don't think Tottenham have found joys at home.
Hmm.
At home at the Emirates to Arsenal. So I'll
Yeah.
just give Arsenal a 2-1 win. I think
Okay.
Son might
That's
score the
even,
first goal, but Arsenal will come up with two quick goals and gazum
yeah.
that win. So let's see what's going to happen,
Let's
guys.
see what
It's a
happens.
big one. It's a big one.
Massive,
See,
massive.
this is football. Yeah,
This is why I
these
love
are
it.
this is
Yeah.
why I love it.
Yeah.
This is it.
I'm
Yeah,
like my heart's already like beating, like
Ex-
I'm already like
exactly,
waiting.
exactly, exactly. These are the days that we're around and that we like as Premiership lovers. Yeah,
Mm.
Tottenham is playing good football right now. Arsenal not so good. Let's see what's going to happen in a ground that they've only won once since we started playing at the Emirates. So
Yeah, and like Wolf said, they haven't really played anybody of real significance, Man United, but they treated that like it was a cup final. So, I mean,
exactly,
they're gonna make DVDs of that game. No offense.
DVDs is gonna come out.
Yeah, and I just think Gabriel all over Son. I mean, I just don't see them like that free passing stuff. It's not. Declan Rice is going to be so ready, bro. He's going to be so
Yeah,
ready.
he's
He's
gonna
going to
be
be
so
so up
fired
for that
up.
game. He's going to be fired
Mhm.
up.
Yeah.
So
Uh, guys,
big show,
yeah.
man.
Thanks, Oregon Gunnar, for coming to the show.
Thank you.
Tomorrow is Champions League. I might be doing a watch along tomorrow. DVS, if you want to pop in for a watch along, we can do
Yeah,
something.
I'm at home tomorrow. I got most of the free day. I might be able to pop in and say hello.
Okay,
But I,
okay.
I don't know what games tomorrow, but I'll look at that later after our show here. Figure
Manchester
it out.
United. Manchester United is
Next
playing
year.
AC Milan.
Oh, shit. Well, AC
And
Milan
we
just got pummeled by Inter. They lost to Inter 4-1 on the
Yeah,
weekend.
exactly. So it's a big one. So it
Love's
would
gonna
be
rip
nice.
them
It
up.
would be nice to just laugh them off and do a show and laugh them off. So
We're
I'll
gonna
be doing a watch along for that game. Yeah, either that game or maybe I might go to Steve's channel. It depends. If I'm doing anything, I'll let you know.
yeah. Let me know for sure. I can come and see you and Steve for sure. But
Okay, okay.
yeah, man,
All right.
it's getting
Big
tasty.
ups.
Big ups,
Yeah,
brother.
from me and Dal. Yeah. Episode 7, season 1. We are out. Big ups.